Most Christians have reservations about aspiring to leadership. They are unsure about whether it is truly right for a person to want to be a leader. After all, is it not better for the position to seek out the person rather than the person to seek out the position? Has not ambition caused the downfall of numerous otherwise great leaders in the church, people who fell victim to the last infirmity of noble minds? Shakespeare expressed a profound truth when his character Wolsey said to the great English general, "Cromwell, I charge thee, fling away ambitions. By that sin fell the angels. How can a man then, the image of his Maker, hope to profit by it?" No doubt, Christians must resist a certain kind of ambition and rid it from their lives. But we must also acknowledge other ambitions as noble, worthy, and honorable. The two verses at the beginning of this chapter provide a warning and an encouragement for sorting out the difference. When our ambition carries out a burning desire to be effective in the service of God, to realize God's highest potential for our lives, we can keep both of these verses in mind and hold them in healthy tension. Part of that tension is the difference between Paul's situation and ours. We may understand his statement in 1 Timothy 3:1 in terms of the prestige and respect given to Christian leaders today. But such was far from Paul's mind. In his day, a bishop faced great danger and worrisome responsibility. Rewards for the work of leading the church were hardship, contempt, rejection, and even death. The leader was first to draw fire in persecution, first in line to suffer. Seen in this light, Paul's encouragement does not seem so open to misuse by people merely seeking status in the church. Phonies would have little heart for such a difficult assignment. Under the dangerous circumstances that prevailed in the first century, even stout-hearted Christians needed encouragement and incentive to lead. And so, Paul called leadership an honorable ambition. We ought never to forget that the same situation faces Christians today in certain parts of the world. Leaders of the church in China suffered most at the hands of communists. The leader of the little flock in Nepal suffered years in prison after church members had been released. In many troubled areas today, spiritual leadership is no task for those who seek stable benefits and upscale working conditions. It remains true that any form of spiritual warfare will inevitably single out leaders who by their role present obvious targets. Paul urges us to the work of leading within the church, the most important work in the world. When our motives are right, this work pays eternal dividends. In Paul's day, only a deep love for Christ and genuine concern for the church could motivate people to lead. But in many cultures today, where Christian leadership carries prestige and privilege, people aspire to leadership for reasons quite unworthy and self-seeking. Holy ambition has always been surrounded by distortions. And so we find the ancient prophet Jeremiah giving his servant Baruch some very wise and simple counsel in Jeremiah 45:5 NLT. Are you seeking great things for yourself? Don't do it. Jeremiah was not condemning all ambition as sinful, but he was pointing to selfish motivation that makes ambition wrong. Great things for yourself. Desiring to excel is not a sin. It is motivation that determines ambition's character. Our Lord never taught against the urge to high achievement, but he did expose and condemn unworthy motivation. All Christians are called to develop